What's up guys, it's Rob Hall here, big on the basics. We're doing the deadlift. So this is one of my favorite lifts to do, mainly because it's the last lift of the day. You can be as intense and aggressive as possible. Mainly what the big thing is here is to move the weight as intensely as possible off the ground. So for me, first step here is to get into an optimal stance that can get the most power output. So a good rule of thumb here, this is gonna be a standing long jump. So if I was going to jump forward as far as possible, I would get into an optimal stance to be able to jump forward as far as possible. So for me, that stance is gonna be perfect for deadlifts, getting that force output to move the weight as far as possible. So that's gonna be right here, which in turn is just slightly inside shoulder width. The next step here for me is to find my hand placement. This may vary depending on your leg size here and your leverages, but once you get your feet planted set, which should be about mid-bar, slightly close to the shins. When you go down, your shin should be barely touching the bar. And that's the kind of stance you want to get in to get optimal power output when you do a conventional. So hand-wise, once I go down and reach for the bar here, I want to make sure my arms are going to be slightly outside of my thighs. I don't want them so tight in here that it's going to push my knees in. I'm not going to get any force output as powerful as possible if they're too far in. You don't want your hands out too wide because you're not going to get as much muscle recruitment in your upper back or your entire back as you can, just to make the lift a lot harder. So once I get my feet set, I go down and reach for the bar here. It's going to be slightly outside of my thighs. And that way, once I get into place, I'm going to have my feet, again, dug into the ground, like I'm trying to twist them outwards, but I'm not going to be moving them anywhere. So I'm going to stay in place. So here, right? So once I do that, you're gonna see that the quads will flex and they're gonna be staying tight the whole time. I'll get my hands down right here. And bar grip wise, I like to place the bar right here, right under the callus, and then wrap my fingers around, squeeze, knuckles pointing down to the ground. That's the same for both. And to find the grip here, I'm using an over-under. My dominant hand is my right hand. That's gonna be my overhand. My not so dominant hand is gonna be my underhand. Personal preference, you can switch either or, but that's a good general rule of thumb. Over-under, gripping the bar, knuckles facing down. And then to do that, you're gonna have your hands twist down, your knuckles are gonna face down once you get in that position. So again, feet placement here, over-under. Twist the bar, that's gonna put you in place. Bring your butt down. Once you bring your butt down, your shins should come slightly right in front of the bar and touch. You don't wanna go down too far where you're all the way down to the bottom, and you don't want your butt up too high. You wanna be able to get as much power as possible. So once I get my butt down, at the same time, I'm gonna take my elbows, squeeze them in. This is gonna help me lock in my upper back because I want my upper back, my lats, all that to be tight in the middle so I can maintain an erect posture when I finish my lockout. If I'm starting off like this and I go to lock out, it's gonna make it so much harder to try to pull this weight back and to lock out. So I wanna start off in the best position possible so I can end in the best position possible. So to do that, once I get down, I'll take my elbows, twist them in, tighten it back. So imagine taking your lats here, pulling them back, dropping them down. That's gonna be the optimal position to get tight and stay tight the whole time during a deadlift. So I'm gonna run through all those steps here and show you what it looks like. Hand down, here. Explode up. Yeah. So the main thing to think about on each of these lifts, if you're doing multiple reps, is to treat them all as singles, all one rep at a time. Because if you go through the motion of like doing a triple and they're all three sloppy, it's not gonna do any good. But if you treat them all as singles, resetting each time, you'll get more out of it because you're getting more practice with that one single rep. Deadlift is a great testament of that, because once you put the bar deck down to reset and not bounce it off the ground, you get the optimal form to do it over again. Those repetitions are gonna put in this mental memory of doing the rep right every time. So you get in that position, you step up there, same thing. You run through this mental movie, all your checkpoints. You do it so many times, you don't actually have to listen to yourself and go through the checklist again. You just walk up, get set, and you do the rep. All becomes just muscle memory at that point. So you're mentally making these movies each time you do the lift. And once you get into position, every training day, get to the meet, it's all gonna be doing an execution of the lift versus thinking about the lift. So once I get up to the bar and execute the lift, I've done this 1,000 times over and over and over and over. At that point, it just, boom, executing the lift. So I learned how to deadlift doing sumo. That's how I was taught. I didn't know about conventional at first. It's great to do both. It's even good to work in sumo if you're doing conventional a lot, because it can help you train other muscles in that deadlift movement. If you do conventional only, and you never give yourself a break, it'll be hard for you to recover. It takes so much out of you. So doing sumo every now and then will help take tension off your lower back. That way we can still make progress and get strength. You can give yourself some training blocks of doing sumo. It'll help carry over into your conventional. So it's a good accessory here if you do conventional. That's gonna be Big on the Basics deadlifts with Rob Hall here. Hope you all the information was useful. Check out the other videos here. You can leave a comment down below and I'll answer some of your questions. Hope you guys like the video.